Rattler fans, you are looking live inside Bill Greehey Arena for the final two games of the Rattler volleyball season. This is game one of those two games. Thursday night, it's the St. Mary's Rattlers against the Newman Jets. David Tovar, Joe Rodriguez with you. First time this whole year, Joe. We're finally paired back up.
It really does feel like quite a reunion here today.
It was like the homecoming game.
It really is.
I know high schools around the area are having their homecoming game. It feels like a homecoming for us. We're back in the booth. Of course, you can catch us on Talking Rattlers. We've done a couple of those throughout the fall seasons here. The latest one going up just yesterday.
And speaking of homecoming games, what a game to have it at. A very pivotal game as these teams try to ready themselves into the Heartland Conference standings. St. Mary's right now holding that last playoff spot. Newman on the outside looking in, trying to fight their way back. This game, if the Rattlers win it, would pretty much effectively remove Newman from that race.
St. Mary's comes into this one with an 8-6 record in conference play. They're 12-12 on the year. However, Joe, as we talked about this yesterday on said Talking Rattlers, the home woes. They're 4-9 here inside Bill Greehey Arena, and I penned up a Tovar's take should be coming out sometime within the next 24 hours. You would think the home cooking is to the Rattlers' advantage. That just hasn't been the case this year.
And it really is shocking, especially for a team that has as good of chemistry as any on campus, I'd say. But, you know, sometimes if you have that great chemistry, it more shines through on the road. As this game off to a rough start for St. Mary's already. An ace off of the bat for Litz. That was a beautiful serve right there, some topspin.
Yeah, I mentioned that they're 12-12 overall. They're a talented bunch, Joe. Remind me of our Dallas Cowboys, a talented bunch. Happen to be, 500 for the last 2 years. We're going to fit them in somehow. but this Rattler team, 12-12, and again, they're fighting for their playoff lives, much like our beloved boys.
And really, if you're St. Mary's, it's kind of a you want to get into the race kind of thing as Holman puts that one down. We've heard it since the beginning of the year. This team as talented as any one team at the year. And if they can just get hot and go into that Heartland Conference tournament on a little bit of a streak, anything can really happen for this team.
Indeed, the name of the game is getting hot before the playoffs. This is a return bout, as that one will be point for the Rattlers. A return game from October the 5th over in Wichita, Kansas. The Rattlers dropped that one in consecutive sets. So Rattlers with a little revenge on the mind, hopefully.
And really, like we said before, an incredibly important game. It's pretty bunched up for that fourth and final playoff spot. Any of 3 or 4 teams can get it, as that one hits the pylon and is out of play. So 2 apiece here, so we're off to the early start. David, you haven't quite been on the broadcast yet for volleyball. I think you've been on 1 or 2 games, but of course we know you come to every game. You're usually doing the promos. What have you seen out of the Rattlers this season? What do you like? What do they need to work on?
The Rattlers to me, and watching them maybe a little closer than you as they drop another point there, a little bit of an anomaly to me. They're so talented. They got so many players. I'm looking at their bench, and you got Jenna Paul and Michaela Bass, who are extremely serviceable. You have an Isbell, who has also come in and played pretty well in spurts. And then, of course, the ladies on the team, the 6 on the floor for St. Mary's, as now the Rattlers trail by 2 to the Jets. You got Martinez, Ortega, Huber, Heft, Holman, and Shikatano, who have all been terrific. But the record is not indicative of that, and I just can't really explain why.
The only reason that I could truly think of as we see Shikatano not able to handle that one is youth. They have 3 freshmen that in effect come in and play for them, and then of course some sophomores who play for them as well. And so it's tough to come into these games, and if you don't get off on the right page, as St. Mary's dropping another point there, a bit of a miscommunication, we're going to get a timeout here. If you struggle a little bit and you start giving momentum to that other team, as a young team, that can be tough to overcome.
Indeed, and we'll have Senior Day Saturday. Only 2 seniors on the squad, so, you're right, a very young team.
And those seniors, very good seniors. Carly Ortega, of course, the vocal leader of this entire team, very great in the locker room, along with Julie Kells, who is another great leader. But, it's one of those things where you have to have leadership from everyone, and really it's tough to find that leadership sometimes. And I'm not trying to, call anyone out or anything, but it's mistakes that are happening every now and then that should not be happening with a team that is this talented.
As you mentioned on yesterday's Talking Rattlers, if you can't get up for this game, as in the Rattler right now, the Rattler white trimmed with gold and blue, if you can't get up for this one, then I don't know what's wrong. This is a huge game, and the Rattlers here off to a little bit of a slow start. They trail 6-2, and here they go. Timeout usually seems to remedy the woes as we have a substitution. Holman out in for Slaughter.
And on that last kill, we saw Holman get going. And Holman has really been the topic of this season. If she's an energy player, if she gets going, the entire team seems to feel that entire energy. I've seen Holman have energy doing something as simple as shooting a piece of paper into a trash can. I mean, really, she's one of the more emotional players on this team. And if she can get going, then she's really able to carry this team.
And in the same vein as Holman, Melissa Heft, who has really come on this season for the St. Mary's Rattlers, there's been games where she has single-handedly just changed the momentum and carried the Rattlers into victories. And granted, we haven't seen much victories here at Bill Greehey Arena, as we pointed out at the start, 4 of 9 here at home. But Heft has been terrific in the times that I've seen her here inside Bill Greehey Arena. Look for more of her. Of course, the usual suspects. Kelsey Huber, who has been terrific again this season. Here she goes, right on cue. Gets that one to go.
A little bit of finesse there.
and she's showing off the finesse on that shot, but I interviewed her earlier this year, and she just hits that ball. She just hits it hard. And I asked her, Kelsey, you know, there are other human beings on the other side of the net you could maybe decapitate. And she goes, well, listen, they're trying to do the same to us. I got to do the same to them. So you love that attitude. Fun player to be around and chit-chat with. And a fierce competitor and who's versatile there. She does it, with finesse, and she hits it hard. And right there, the Rattlers not able to keep that rally alive as they drop another point, trail by 5 once again, the largest lead so far for the Neiman Jets.
And you talk about Huber really just becoming a staple of this team ever since she came in her freshman year. Now in her junior year, she's stepping up. She plays just about every single point. It's a rarity when she comes out. And Heft, like you said, she's like one of those great three-point shooters, as Paul's able to find it there. If Heft gets hot, she's able to single-handedly take over the game. And like Huber, she's a very strong player and a very strong swinger. So Huber back to serve now, 9-5 the score. And that one off the Rattler hands and out of play, so 10-5 now.
The Jets doubling up here quickly on the St. Mary's Rattlers. Back to serve for the Jets is Galen Jones. Jones, the outside hitter, freshman, 5'10", from Edwardsville, Illinois.
And this team also for the Jets, also very young. Only 3 seniors on their squad, and they have a lot of freshman play. But Jones able to find the ace there. That's already the second ace for the Jets this game.
5-11 the score. Jones will hold serve. This one over the net, made by Martinez. And we talk about staples of this Rattler team. How about Victoria Martinez? She's been terrific as well.
Martinez, the Arlington native, got to get that on in there. Already.
That's the next door neighbor to you, huh?
Just about. I think 5 minutes away or so. She lives just down the street. But yeah, Martinez already multiple Heartland Conference Player of the Week's award. That earlier in the season, of course, but still just tremendously leading this team with digs. It's like you look down on the sheet of paper, you see a 55, a 68, 155. Oh wait, there's Martinez right there with 537. Just casual, you know.
Yeah. Just a number that is bound to pop out like it did right there. So Newman gets that to go. Rattlers not able to respond. And once again, Newman extends their lead to 5. The Rattlers are trying to cut into this lead, trying to make a little rally, trying to make a run of their own. And there the Jets go. Tori Alderson with a serve for the Jets. Ortega lays it up nicely for Holman. Here come the Jets looking to respond. Now Huber, Ortega, Jindale Paul.
Good dig out there by Jones.
Here's Ortega, Holman, trying to catch the defense.
And there it goes. Holman able to get it down. The timing was a little bit off, but it doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to get it down on the court.
Indeed. Sometimes you can't. There's no set play for that one.
You can't be really choosy about the set that you get. You just have to do something with it. Shikatano into the game along with Heft as Bass and Paul heading on out. And that one sent back. Emphatic there. And Holman now taking a swing and able to find the 4.
Another player I've been very impressed with this season, Shikatano, a freshman. The poise she has shown to take over the setter spot, a spot that was held by Allie Murray.
Wow, what a play there.
Yeah.
She went into her own stands.
Almost taking out the assistant coach for Newman. And
her hustle rewarded there. St. Mary's got caught up in the net. Oh, wait, sorry. Newman got caught up into the net there. So 12-10 now. The Jets still in the lead.
I know you got to chit-chat with Shikatano a little bit. Tell me a little bit, Joe, about her demeanor as she just holds serve here.
And like you said, a very poised player. I was incredibly impressed with her maturity and everything. Not only in the interview, but I talked to her before the games. We know Bash, she was out for a little bit at the start of the year, so Shikatano had to play full time. And I talked to her before and after the games, asking her at all. I was like, I didn't ask her before the game if she was nervous because I didn't want to make her nervous. But I was like, you ready to go? She's like, yeah, it's time to step up, time for my time. I only have to do it for 1 or 2 games until Bass gets back. And in those games, she really kind of took over a role in this team that she hasn't relinquished since. And then her interview also just incredibly impressive. A great person all around and someone that you really want to have on your team and someone that's just really good for your chemistry. And you can tell by how good she is with the chemistry, a little bit of teasing every now and then because she's a freshman and she has the nickname the Chicken Taco.
Yeah.
But anytime you have that nickname, there's going to be a tiny bit of teasing. And David, look at this. We've talked about the Rattlers getting off to a rough start, but since that timeout, they've rallied back. It's now only a 1-point game.
Ortega with the serve here. The Jets looking to stop this run, and the Rattlers keep it alive. Good rally. Here they come again, Ortega.
You got to love the hustle out of Ortega there.
Now Martinez puts it over. Here come the Jets. Nice set. Ooh, trying to catch the defense off guard. Martinez, good job playing the back line. Now Huber. This one could go all night. Just like, I guess they jinxed it.
Yep, but that kill there by Jaren Braithwaite, and that was a great kill by her, taking advantage of the Rattlers who were a little bit out of order because of all the hustling they had to do.
Shikatano, the freshman from McKinney, Texas. And when we were shooting Talking Rattlers yesterday, we saw Shikatano and Michaela Bass working out together, the 2 setters on the team. And you talk about the great chemistry Shikatano brings. A lot of credit to Bass, too. Both are setters, both kind of competing for playing time, but both understanding the team coming first.
That's right, and both of them, I believe they showed up a good 30 minutes early to practice. They were working on some things with Coach Warmack Chipman, so we're going to go on ahead. We're going to look out for those things this game. They were working on a bit of the dumps, the deceptive second hits, and also on their shoot sets as well, so look out for those in today's game. And just like that, it's tied up, 14 apiece. The Rattlers have stormed back. Newman wants a timeout. We'll go on ahead and take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. Bill Gree Arena serving as the backdrop. The elder statesman of the park at St. Mary's. More on that as we go along here through tonight's action. The St. Mary's Rattlers squaring off with the Newman Jets. David Tovar, Joe Rodriguez. The David Joe Show back and better than ever, back on Broadway. And Joe, I think we should tell our audience that we've been partying for the last 3 weeks over at the park. If you haven't had a chance to see it, Rattler fans, if you haven't had a chance to come out, check out the premises. Just a gorgeous facility from Dixon Stadium. And actually, David C. Dixon, the stadium's namesake, is here in attendance.
That's right. You got to meet him a little bit, I believe. Talk to him briefly. Just great guy, and we thank him tremendously for all of his contributions. None of it would have been possible without him. And I'd of course like to thank him for the press box.
Oh,
it's
yes.
air conditioned. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
and I cannot wait to use it.
It's gonna be great. I got to check out the softball stadium at an alumni game right after the inauguration. And the press box is gorgeous. Sigma Beta Chi Field as the Rattlers are taking the lead here. 16-15 and midway through set numero uno. Nice set here. Rattlers.
And then, of course, if I may brag a little bit, the intramural field.
Yeah.
Also very nice, getting good use.
You're already getting accustomed to it. Getting
yes,
familiar
indeed.
with it.
Had a game earlier today.
Yeah?
Yeah, we pulled out the W. I believe it was 12-7.
Ooh.
I went 2 for 3, a couple RBIs. But let's get back to the important game of today.
It's unfortunate we don't broadcast that. 16 all here as we are heading toward the latter stages of set number 1. A little miscommunication here by the Rattlers, but they're able to get it over the net. Here come the Jets.
Great effort there by Martinez.
Lightning not striking twice there for the St. Mary's Rattlers. 17-16 the score. Newman Jets will retain serve. Here is Molly Farragher.
Martinez able to handle that one. Pretty good pass. And there you go. That's the result you want. So very often we see that combination right there. Martinez, a good pass, and Huber putting it down for the kill. And those two are best of buddies, really.
Yeah, Martinez, Huber, and even Hardtongue when she gets out there. Trio there for the Lady Rattlers on and off the court. But as you mentioned, Martinez and Huber make a dynamic duo right there. Just not able to get that chemistry, not able to link up on that point there, and it goes for the Newman Jets, 18-17.
Yeah, and a great point there by the Jets, and honestly, I believe that's only their second or third tip of the game, and very well timed. It threw the Rattlers off.
Now, Joe, I know you fancy volleyball, but our Rattler volleyball savant, Kayleen Selznick, who is on assignment.
She is.
I could hold a straight face. She's on assignment in Vegas, Las Vegas, to be exact.
I'm curious. Who decided that Kayleen got to go to Vegas? We should have drawn straws or something.
At least more democratic, something more. I definitely would agree, something more
could
democratic.
Could have called seniority. There could have been several different factors.
Anything.
Apparently, she knew the coach the best. That's why she got to go.
Well, regardless of her, we know her whereabouts, but really our Rattler savant. But I bring her up because I would love her analysis, because what the Rattlers are doing here, they're going small. Something I've talked about, or at least I've noticed the entire year. You know, you got Isbell, who's the tallest of the Rattlers, but then you got players that are shorter in stature. And does that help us or not? And I know you fancy volleyball, so can you answer that real quick?
Well, the first thing to note is that Isbell did indeed come into the game. She's started coming into the games in the latter stages, and she's really been the boost for the Rattlers. And another thing that we've been seeing out of the Rattlers, or at least when they were last at home, is that Ortega, every now and then when she's on the front line, instead of her playing the front line, they'll bring in Hardtongue, because she adds more height to this Rattler team. But Kayleen right now, like you mentioned, a little bit less height up there right now with Ortega, Paul, and Isbell. Very explosive on the offensive end, those three. But again, Isbell really the only one who can put up that block consistently. Not to say that Paul and Ortega cannot. It's just that the height is lacking slightly there. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Hardtongue come into the game here. But again, it's still early, and Ortega would probably go on ahead and get the nod as we see her coming on back out. So 21-17 the score. Since that the Newman University Jets timeout, they've surged forward, really. The 4-0 run here recently was tied at 17-all. Jenna Paul, she got underneath that one, so it'll be 22-17 now. reason I said Dallas Baptist University, they're on the brain a little bit. Our St. Mary's soccer team played them in the Heartland Conference tournament today. Unfortunately, they fell short there. They ended up losing the game 4-0. But really, overall, a great year for the Rattlers women's soccer team. But again, just falling short there in the Heartland Conference tournament.
A lot of bright spots, though, for the Lady Rattlers soccer team. It's their 4th straight trip to the Heartland Conference tournament. They ended up finishing the regular season 8-6 in conference play. They were able to send 7 players to the all-conference teams. Leah Snelson, the lone Rattler, making the first team. Katie Kasperides and Ashton Layton making the second team. And then 4 other Rattlers receiving honors: Coronado, Cardoza, Crystal Williams, and I'm going to leave off that last one because I just can't remember who the last one is. But, of course, for all the information, RattlerAthletics.com. As you mentioned, Rattler soccer officially done for the year as the women have met their demise against DBU 4-0. More on that, RattlerAthletics.com. Lady Rattlers here looking to avoid their demise, and that's not going to do it. 24-18, as now it is set point for the Newman Jets, and serving for them is number 10, Tori Alderson. Remember, Rattler fans, Kayleen's assignment is Twitter at St. Mary's Rattlers. You can follow all the action from your mobile device or your computer. And, of course, over in Vegas, and she'll be tweeting how the men's basketball season begins. And, of course, they'll be here inside Bill Greehey Arena on the 12th, I believe.
And that's right, they're just starting off their season today. Of course, the men coming off of back-to-back Heartland Conference championships and the appearance to the Sweet 16. But meanwhile, inside Bill Greehey Arena, 25-18, the first game to the JETS Jets. We'll go on ahead, we'll take a break, and bring you more Rattler volleyball when we return.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And the sounds of the Notorious B.I.G. are bringing us back here inside Bill Greehey Arena. Hopefully that's audible through our microphones into your speakers. David Tovar, Joe Rodriguez back with you. The Rattlers dropping set numero uno, 18-25. A valiant effort. They trailed by as many as 5 and 6 midway through that set. They were able to tie it up at 17, but the Jets going on a 7-1 run to put that one away at 18-25. Joe, Bill Greehey Arena, the elder statesman of the park at St. Mary's. We've talked so much about it, so much coverage it's received on Rattler Athletics, on local news affiliates, KSAT 12, San Antonio's ABC affiliate, as well as others. But Bill Greehey Arena taking center stage once again, not only tonight, but starting tomorrow. Lady Rattler basketball, and then the men will come back on Tuesday. They're playing basketball I'm excited.
And you mean the Lady Rattler basketball team that's ranked #1 in the Heartland Conference preseason polls, right? And of course, the same team that has the preseason All-American Jackie Woods, right? I don't know about you, David. I'm so excited for some women's basketball this year, along with the men's side. And as the Rattlers start off here, great block there by Paul and Holman. That's what you like to see to start off. Paul now taking a swing. That one dug out. And again, they get a piece of it. Holman now with the set. Here's Hardung. And Holman now, and there it is, out of play. And like I said, David, a little bit of a switch up here and to start the second half. Ortega, she's not playing the front row. Instead, we have Hardung coming into the game, providing that extra height.
She'll join Martinez, Huber, Shigitano, Holman, and Jenna Paul. Jenna Paul, last year's Heartland Conference Newcomer of the Year. Shigitano might be in the running for that award as well. She's been terrific.
Along with Slaughter, who's really had a great presence for this Rattler team as well. And really, you gotta love the recruitment class that the Rattlers got this year. 3 great players, Shigitano, and then of course the 2 6-footers in Slaughter and Isbell. And you see Holman there, not only tall but able to elevate as she gets that one down.
Yeah, a young team, as we've talked about. So, and this year, Joe, some might write it off or could have written it off as a rebuilding year, a retooling year. Not the Rattlers, they're right in the thick of it. They are sitting at the 5th seed. The provisional member, Lubbock Christian, not accounted for. They'll be in the 4th seed. So, winning tonight, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, will go a long way for this team.
It really would, and it would also effectively shut out Newman University from any hope that they would have. It's a battle at the net there, lost by Huber and Holman. So now 3-1 for Newman University. But as we've seen for the Newman Jets, they've really gotten up for this game. The Rattlers, they had their moments in that first set. They looked very strong. But again, momentum just a killer and something that we've seen be a problem for the Rattlers so far this year. They need to keep that energy level high throughout the entire set and then have that transfer on over into the rest of the match. But of course, we say that, but you gotta take it one point at a time as well, right, David?
I agree, but I can't help but agree with your first sentiments. They gotta get up. They gotta get the juices flowing early. You don't want to fall behind approaching the midway point of the set, and then you don't want to use a big run to tie it while there's still a lot of points left. You want to use that. You want to be consistent.
Oh, that's Holman able to get up for there. Explosive play out of her. 4-2 now.
She'll take a well-deserved breather as Slaughter comes in, joining the fray. Victoria Martinez back to serve.
And like you talked about, David, adding on to that point before Holman had that tremendous play. Slaughter, wow. Anytime we try to make a point, great play happens. Let's keep trying to make points, you know?
Indeed. Welcome to Slaughter Lane.
Slaughterhouse.
I think it's exit 230 on I-35 on your way to Austin.
Wow, that's some map knowledge there out of David Tovar.
That's right, Rattler fan.
Very versatile. Slaughter again.
Slaughter Lane.
Well, if you want after this game, you and I can go on ahead and take a trip down Slaughter Lane. She keeps playing like this.
Indeed. Well, Newman's already backing up traffic there.
Yeah,
so.
And just like that, the Rattlers negating the point that I was going to make. The Rattlers, they were down 4-1, and an ace now out of Victoria Martinez, 5-4 now. But the Rattlers able to surge their way, a 4-0 run. Newman, they're going to want to take a timeout. We'll go on ahead. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, Rattler fans. 5-4, the margin for the Rattlers. 1-0 though in the match column, the favor for the Jets. David, we've seen the Rattlers surge forward, and we've been talking about this momentum, very important for the Rattlers. But like in that first set, the Rattlers, they had that nice run. They were able to tie things up. Newman took the timeout and then surged forward themselves. If you're the Rattlers, you really have to come out with high energy out of this timeout, right?
I asked this consistency, and the Rattlers here are trying to deliver that. Joey, you're about to mention how the Rattlers almost dug themselves in another hole early on for the second straight set. Able to avoid that, and the Rattlers now building a lead here. They're on a, if my math serves me right, on a 5-0 run. Yeah, 5-0 run. And they lead it by 2 with Martinez still holding serve, the libero from Arlington.
And really what it's been that's helped them get on this run after Holman had that big kill. Slaughter's made her presence known in this game. She started to take over. Newman's going to have to account for her blocks. You see there, a tip, not even trying to challenge her. Now Slaughter taking a swing of her own.
Nice move there by Slaughter. Here come the Rattlers in.
It's finally Jones able to end the run.
Hartung hits the deck and not able to retrieve this possession. It'll be Newman ball as they are trying to claw back into this one. They trail by 1, 6-5 the score.
Farringer back to serve now.
Rattler fans, remember, you can find us on various social media platforms, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers.
Slaughter once again. My goodness, these 3 kills that she's have been explosive.
Hashtag Slaughter Lane on Twitter at St. Mary's Rattlers. Also on Instagram, if you can catch a picture of her, at St. Mary's Rattlers. All the games and Talking Rattlers and other interviews are archived on youtube.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. And of course, you're watching us via rattlerathletics.com. 7-5 the score, make it 7-6 as the Newman Jets not going away just yet. Got to give them a ton of credit. They at times have looked stymied, but they keep hanging in there and not letting the Rattlers pull away.
Yeah, and a great kill there by Gonzalez, the middle for the Jets. She went over to the right side of the net there in order to get that one. And Huber trying to respond, but just out of play.
An errant hit makes it all even at 7 here for both the Rattlers and the Jets. Ooh, and that's cardinal sin. Don't want to give away possessions, and more importantly, don't want to give away the point.
Yeah, it's really difficult to have that happen. You get a couple big plays out of your team, you tie it up, and then you miss a serve like that one just barely off the tape. It's really tough to have those points and can kind of kill your momentum. Huber now with the serve. And that one blocked and popped up by Slaughter. She'll take it on over.
Here come the Jets. Ooh, trying to surprise the Rattler defense. Huber on her toes. The Jets again. This time it's Martinez. Oh, now Ortega trying to get fancy with it. Excuse me, that's Bass, and here is Bass again.
Slaughter once again.
Slaughter.
Really starting to make the connection. She seems on point. A lot quicker to the net here today than, the quickest I've seen her. She's really on her game here today. She's anticipating very well. 9-7 now for St. Mary's. And you mentioned you thought it was Ortega at the net. Michaela Bass, a little bit of a change of her hair color.
Yeah, and we noticed it up here. Ladies give a lot of flack to the gentlemen about, you don't notice what I do with my hair. We noticed it from the booth up here, noticed it so much that we got it wrong, but nonetheless, we noticed it eventually, and I think that's the credit we should get. But
I believe what she told me, she's just going for a different look, and actually went as Snow White for Halloween.
Oh,
so that tied in nicely with the costume.
Happy Halloween! happy belated Halloween.
Dia de los Muertos, of course, for all of our Hispanic viewers.
Yeah, San Antonio. I think our demographic would appreciate that shout out.
Oh, well, 11-7 now, and we got a ball on the court here.
Yeah, we're approaching the holiday season. We got Thanksgiving,
yes,
and then I would assume maybe the second biggest unofficial holiday in America, Black Friday.
Very true. A lot of work to be done on Black Friday, as you well know.
And then you got of course December, and then I think the biggest unofficial holiday in America. I think you would agree with me, partner. Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, yes, of course, Super Bowl Sunday. Actually, I'll always remember this. My first broadcast on Super Bowl Sunday, I believe.
That's right. I think it was 2012?
Yes, indeed. I'm in the third year. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Time flies.
And I'm not going to reveal my age because, yeah, it's just
Do they
been
make a
long
number that
time.
high?
They don't make candles that high, I think.
Well, 13-7.
6-point lead for the St. Mary's Rowlers. Rowlers trying to bust this one wide open, and that's going to go a long way toward doing that. Melissa Heft. I talked about her early on, Joe. She's really come on this season for the St. Mary's Rowlers. We'll stay with you, Rowler fans, as we're going to bask in the 7-point lead here. Set numero dos between the Rowlers and the Jets.
Yes, you see St. Mary's doubling up the Newman Jets, responding well to that loss in the first set. And, you know, already the Jets using both of their timeouts in this set. They're going to have to play the rest of the way with the Rattlers possibly in the momentum and in the lead. If you're St. Mary's, you have to keep this energy up. You have to have that killer instinct and come out and play really, really hard for the remainder of this set. I mean, I know it sounds strange to say you have to play hard in this set. Of course you have to play hard in every set, but you can't get comfortable right now. You're doubling up the Jets, but you need to keep on going. At least keep trading points with the Jets for the rest of the way.
And you mentioned that the Jets have used all their timeouts here in this set. See, to me, as a volleyball aficionado, not a savant, and somebody who doesn't as fancy it as well as you do, but as an aficionado, timeouts to me, I've noticed not only do they serve to refocus and to go back to the drawing board, but they really serve as momentum stoppers for the opposing side. Here, Newman trying to stop the bleeding, not able to here as they drop another point. That one too strong. And so now they are basically out of timeouts and out of momentum stoppers here for the remainder of this set.
Yes, and 15-7 now for the Rattlers. And really, it is true. In volleyball, more than any other sport, it seems like that timeout is just so valuable. It's like icing a kicker in football, I do suppose, as that one finds the line, so St. Mary's with another point there. But really, you see teams come out, like if there's a server that's particularly hot, is doing well, then you use the timeout, and next thing you know, they somehow miss a serve. It's just so strange, but we see points won by the coaches by proper use of the timeouts.
Well, like those slogans in those adult beverage commercials, it's only weird if it doesn't work. So
very true, very true.
16-7, and here come the Jets. Now they trail by 8, 16-8. And really, Joe, I was about to say before the Newman Jets scored, really night and day from the opening set for the St. Mary's Rattlers, at least, and even the Jets.
Very true. We saw the Rattlers come out, struggle, fall into that hole early on, and in this set they kind of fell into a tiny bit of a hole, down 4-1. I wouldn't say that's a huge hole, but then they're able to come back, fight their way through, and eventually come and take the game. And I believe they're going to reverse that point. They're going to say it was tipped by St. Mary's, so it's going to be
9-16.
9-16, yes. We see Bass, Melissa Heft. She was met at the net there, but the block not good enough. Heft too strong on the hit, still able to find the court on the Jets side.
Martinez taking a breather, the 6 on the floor for the Rattlers. Slaughter with a serve, Huber, Bass, Heft, Holman, and Hartung.
And that one able to beat Heft. And before I could say it, I was really excited to see how Slaughter was going to handle the back line there as she was serving, but now as she's heading out of the game, Martinez, she'll pop right back in as only liberos can do. And 17-10 now for St. Mary's.
Here's Bass, nice set, and
Hartung
shot.
Like a rocket there.
Yeah. Just launches one into the Newman back line, and Newman can do nothing to respond to that one. That one goes flying into the crowd. And 18-10, Rattlers about to break that 20-point threshold.
And from what I've heard about Hartung, she's been practicing extraordinarily well. And we see her combine on block there along with Holman. That one popped up by Huber. And it somehow manages to find the floor on the Jets side. Chicatano was trying to bring it back, but it just managed to get past the entire line of defense. 19-10 now for St. Mary's. They have to be feeling good about themselves right now. But again, they need that killer instinct, and a great serve there by Chicatano.
Rattlers once again doubling up on the Jets 20-10.
And David, I really like the Rattlers' demeanor right now. We saw after Shikatano got that ace, everyone turned and looked to her, and instead of saying, just like good job or anything, they said, let's go, come on, let's go. And again, that one met at the net, but still managed to come down on the Rattlers' side. Holman really wanted that block, you can tell.
Yeah, you see that ritualistic celebrating after every point, and it's usually, more jumpy, more excited manner, but not for the Rattlers. They're, as you mentioned, they seem to be on a mission. They really want to put this one away.
Yeah, and you can tell a couple game faces really coming on. I think Hardung has her game face on especially.
Consistency and a sense of urgency. I think it's important for the Rattlers, and Holman just a little too much on that one. It creeps out of play, and that'll be another point for the Jets. They're trying to hang in there.
And you really like the effort out of Hardung this game. She's played every single point, and she's really showing through, both on the defensive and on the playing the net as well. Dug out by Martinez over her head. Here's Paul. Oh, good use of the finesse there, playing short.
Lest we not forget, Jenna Paul, last year's Heartland Conference Newcomer of the Year, Freshman of the Year, and extremely skilled hitter, whether it can just be smacking the ball or as you saw right there, just placing it very well. There's another point for the Rattlers.
And really, that's why you have to like the Rattlers if they just manage to get into the Heartland Conference Tournament. There's so many weapons on this team, and the setters, Shikatano and Bass, both very good. Both have Heartland Conference Player of the Week awards to their name as well. And honestly, if they get into the tournament, they have a very, very good shot of just getting hot and being an explosive team that just shoots their way through.
Yeah, looking at the Heartland Conference standings, besides the front runner who has ran away with the conference, Arkansas Fort Smith, they're 14-0 in conference play. After them, Dallas Baptist at 10-4. Lubbock Christian, a provisional member, not eligible for conference tournament play. They're 10-5. St. Edward's 9-5, and the Rattlers 8-6. So, I mean, the separation between 2 and 4, or 5, depending on how you want to look at it, is only 2 games. So you're right. If the Rattlers can just manage to secure a spot, they have as good a chance as anybody.
And really, coming into these last 4 games of the year, all of them conference games. And if you're St. Mary's, you can somehow manage to find your way to that 2 or 3 seed, kind of having to avoid University of Arkansas Fort Smith, then you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. That one sent back. Slaughter once again. 24-14, set point for the Rattlers.
And speaking of avoiding Arkansas Fort Smith, it'll be tough. They'll play them in their regular season finale over in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They played them earlier this year on the 10th of October while they were on their here at Inside Bill Greer Arena when they came back from their road trip, which featured a stop over in Newman. They lost that one 3-1. So kind of encouraging there. They took a set from them.
Yeah, they took a set from them. I believe that was the game that Huber did an interview after, and that she was very optimistic about it. She said that they just had a couple of breaks that didn't quite go their way. The Rattlers getting all the breaks this game and showing through with a commanding 25-15 win in this match. So the Rattlers able to square it up 1 set apiece. David, you have to love what the Rattlers did there. They went for the throat. They had the killer instinct, able to win it by 10 in that set.
Absolutely thrilled. Night and day from set uno to set dos. 25-15, a dominating win. 10-point victory here, and it's all even at 1 apiece. Inside Bill Greer Arena. Of course, Rattler fans, we remind you, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, both those handles at St. Mary's Rattlers. We're on YouTube, the games, interviews, the hit webisodic episodic series. I gotta get that right. Talking Rattlers.
Webisodic series. Talking Rattlers.
Oh, throwback jam.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that again, Rattler fans. Young Dro, taking me back to my sophomore year in high school. Ooh, great stuff.
I believe I might have been 8th grade. No, maybe a freshman.
You're making me
no,
feel
trying
old.
to make you feel old.
And you're succeeding, my friend.
All right. Well, Rattler fans, we'll be back with more Rattler Volleyball after this in-between set break. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
In HD.
Yes, sir.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
And we welcome you back, Rattler fans, to beautiful Bill Greehey Arena. Sets tied at 1 apiece there after the Rattlers able to storm back in that second set. 25-15 the margin for St. Mary's. They'll surely look for the same results here. That one dug out. A great effort. Shikatano on the dig there. For St. Mary's on their side of the court, they got Hardung, Holman, Paul, Shikatano, Martinez, and Huber to start out. And really a great story, Hardung coming into the game in that second set and really able to give the Rattlers a boost. Holman, of course, and Slaughter, the middles for St. Mary's, also able to do great things. And if for Newman University, this one a very important set for you, and really a set that could mean your season as you come into here. Newman on the outside looking in right now as to making the Heartland Conference Tournament. If they defeated St. Mary's today, that would put them 1 game back of our Rattlers. The Rattlers, of course, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Great hustle there by Shikatano, able to dig it on out. That one hanging on the tape, and here's Hardung now to swing. It's dug out nicely by Alderson. And Martinez not able to get to that. And the Jets surging forward 3-0. David, we saw St. Mary's come back in that second set. Really very impressive as they fought through it. What do they have to do in order to keep it going? Who'd you like? Who made the plays for St. Mary's?
What they have to do, consistency and urgency. Who I like, Slaughter Lane. Jenna Paul's really turning it on here in the latter stages of set number 2, and here trying to get it going in set number 4. More of the same from Huber and Martinez, and the Rattlers could be primed to keep it going. Right now, again, in a bit of a hole, 4-0, but remember, that's how they started off set numero dos.
And of course, all we have to do is talk about them starting to get into a hole, and then they surge forward, right?
That seems to be the superstitious remedy that we've come up with.
How superstitious are you, David?
Very.
Very?
Yeah, during the NBA Finals, I have, a certain shirt that I wear. During Cowboys games, I've kind of deciphered that a certain jersey and or a certain T-shirt.
What about for your Boston Red Sox, who, by the way, just won the World Series? Do you have any superstitions about them?
Yeah, I don't wear my hat. Just keep it around.
Really?
Yeah, just keep it around me. I don't wear it. When I'm wearing it, things don't go so hot. So I take it off, put it near me, around me. I haven't decided if I have to tip it a certain way or a certain direction, but I just know not to wear it. For my Cowboys, not wear my Romo jersey. That's usually how I know we're going to do fine.
Well, 5-2 now. Martinez on the serve. That one dug out by Shikatano. Paul with the second touch, and Martinez will send it on over.
Now the Jets putting it over. Nice block there, just out of play. And that's off the hands of Slaughter.
Really just unfortunate there if you're Slaughter. I mean, you do everything right, you get the block, but the ball just ricochets the wrong way and goes out of play. Here's Paul now.
Ooh.
With a fury.
Yeah. Just leaving Tori Provencio a little rattled after that. That one coming right at you. And, I don't envy any of these players when a ball's coming at you that fast. You and I played a little bit of pickup volleyball here with the rest of the Rattler Network crew.
Yes, indeed.
And it was, for the most part, it was very fun, very slow compared to these.
Well, you guys were kind of slow. I think I was doing all right.
Yeah, but you didn't launch at anybody 100 miles an hour like Paul did right there on that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we ever play pickup and Jenna Paul wants to play with us, I'm going to take her with the first pick.
I'm going to be on whatever side she's not. Excuse me, whatever side she's on. That way she doesn't launch one toward me. A 2-point lead for the Newman Jets as the Rattlers try to climb back. They've trailed by as many as 4. The Jets trying to put it over, and they do. Nice dig there by Hartung.
Yeah, and Slaughter able to win the battle at the net there, but it'll be the Jets swinging. Bass able to dig it out, though. Heft on the second touch.
Jets, and that one over Hartung, not able to bring it back down. And the Jets grab a 3-point lead here.
And I know it may seem strange to say this, but that was a very important point for the Rattlers. If they won that game, it's suddenly 6-5. You're only down by 1. You got served. But the Jets, they're able to win that point and gain a ton of momentum. Now up 3. And Huber adding some momentum of her own now.
Huber has a rebuttal for you and says momentum where? She just throws it down.
Really, Huber, just an incredible athlete. It seems, and it's incredible to say this, that her vertical it continues to increase every single year. I remember watching her sophomore year, she's just flying through the air. I'm like, she cannot jump any higher than that. It's not possible. This junior year, just proving me wrong once again. Just an incredible athlete is Huber. Here's Hartung playing short there.
Yeah, and Huber, who had some nagging injuries early in her underclassmen years, showing no signs of that throughout this whole year, just has probably been a nightmare for opposing teams. And
that one off the tape and back onto the Rattlers side. So 8-5 now for the Jets.
Jets making some substitutions, trying to shuffle it up, keep their momentum going. It's a 3-point lead still for the Jets, 8-5. We remind you, Rattler fans, right back here on Rattler Network, we have a weekend full of events. Joey, I know you and I will make this our home for the next 3 days.
We might as well sleep over in Bill Griehe Arena. We're going to be broadcasting every day for this weekend, I believe. We have the broadcast tonight, tomorrow, another one as well.
Oh, no, we're going to be here the whole day Saturday. So you bring the firewood, I bring the marshmallows, we make some s'mores.
Yeah, we'll go on ahead.
Out.
We'll have Brian bring the graham crackers and the Hershey's.
Maybe one of the Natalie maybe bring the hot chocolate. It's get a little chilly outside.
Yes, it is indeed. I love this time of year, though. I get to wear my sweater.
Yeah.
Speaking of sweaters, RattlerGear.com, the place where you can get all your newest St. Mary's gear. I know I actually just got one of my sweaters, and I'm so excited for it to come in. Get your sweaters, your caps, T-shirts, everything that you could want. St. Mary's Rattlers at the brand new RattlerGear.com.
That's right, RattlerGear.com will have you dressed to impress when you make your way into the park at St. Mary's and inside Bill Griehe Arena for basketball upcoming. And you're absolutely right, Joe. If the schedule on the top of my head is correct, we got this game right now. Tomorrow, women's basketball at 7 p.m. Then we got volleyball back here on Saturday at noon. And then we got women's basketball, I believe, at 7 again. So It's a buffet of Rattler athletics from Bill Greer Arena this weekend.
And really all of them very meaningful games that I'm excited to watch for our great Lady Rattlers to play. Volleyball, of course, fighting for their lives as they're trying to hold on to that Heartland Conference spot. I keep saying it. And then on the other end, women's basketball trying to live up to the hype as the #1 ranked team in the Heartland Conference. 11-6 now for the Jets. They seem to have put that second set behind them. They're coming out strong in this third set. That one put down, Holman. 11-7 now will be Shikatano and Paul coming into the game. Bass and Heft will head on over to the bench.
Shikatano back to serve. Martinez, Huber, Paul, Holman, and Hartung, the 6 on the floor in Rattler white.
Wow, what a great set there by Litz. She didn't exactly get the best pass there, but she was able to fully extend her body and get a great setup, and of course the kill rewarding it. 12-7 now.
Here's a serve from the Jets. Huber, now Shikatano. Holman gets that to go.
And Holman there just able to locate the soft spot of the court, really just finding that corner and putting it on down.
You were talking about it earlier in the broadcast, Joe. Holman, instant offense.
Oh, she really is. And when you have a middle like that who can give you that offense, it's so valuable because the middle, she can hit pretty much anywhere on the court if she's able to dominate the other middle. She can go to the left, right, of course. She can even have a tip to pretty much any soft spot of the court as well. And that's something that we see Holman do when she's on her game. Huber, oh, that one dug out nicely. That was Zolderman. That one met at the net. Holman now popping it up. Huber with the tap. And really, Huber and Holman just taking care of the net there on that point, 9-12 now.
Great rally there by the St. Mary's Rattlers, keeping themselves in this one. Just a point away from hitting the double-digit mark and inching ever closer to the Newman Jets. This one is sent over by Hartung. Now here come the Jets. Hit hard, Martinez, Paul, and now Huber.
That was a great job by Paul, able to give Huber something to hit there.
Oh, Shikatano sending it back, catching everybody by surprise. Dug well there by Martinez. Now set Holman. Read nicely by the Newman defense.
That one rejected. And you see the energy Holman just brings to this team. 12-10 now. Hartung back to serve once again. And St. Mary's, we've seen them be able to make these surges in every single game. It was early, kind of, well, more towards the middle of the game in the first set. And if you're Hartung, that's a costly one right there. And then in the second set, they made the surge early in the game, and they were able to run away from it. Let's see how they react in this third set right here, though. We'll see if they're able to catch the Jets, now 13-10. And if they are able to catch them, will they be able to put it away?
Holman has been terrific, and speaking of Holman, we haven't mentioned she's had a record-breaking performance earlier this year here inside the Bill Greer Arena. I believe breaking the blocks record for a single game.
Yes, indeed, she did. An incredible feat by her. As again on Holman. That's what I like when the athletes make us look smart right there.
Yeah, indeed, because Lord knows I need that. Holman, the sophomore from Rowlett, Texas.
As she'll now head to the bench, get some water. And that one finding the line, Martinez with the ace.
And just like that, the Rattlers are now within one of the Newman Jets as we're approaching the midway point of set numero tres.
And again, well, now Slaughter coming into the game. We saw the impact she had in that second set. Let's see if she's able to do more of the same here, and immediately a block.
Jets trying to get it over, and they can. There's Slaughter with a little help from Jenna Paul, but Slaughter once again evens this one all even at 13.
And like we said, St. Mary's able to make that run, able to make that surge. I think if St. Mary's gets a point here, then Newman will go on ahead and take a timeout. A great serve by Martinez there.
Are you on the coaching staff? They might do that right now.
Nope. Looks like they're going to try to weather this one on out.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Martinez, one of the better servers on this Rattler team. If she can manage to discombobulate the Jets on that first touch, then I like the Rattlers' chances to win the point, and there it is right there.
Rattlers here on a 5-1 run. They've trailed 12-8, and now they lead it 15-13.
Able to find the line there, and now the Jets, they'll make a substitution.
Jets maybe not wanting to use their timeouts as quickly as they did in set number 2.
Yep. Hagman will come in, Jones will head to the bench. A substitution basically like a mini timeout. You're kind of just trying to waste time, throw the server off their game a small bit, and that one, Martinez just masterful with the serve there. She's on a run, and Jets have no choice but to take the timeout.
Yeah, Laura Hagman of the Jets just not able to field that one. Kind of like a muff punt.
And we'll go on ahead. We'll head to break. St. Mary's on the run.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. Bon Jovi in the background here inside Bill Greer Arena. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. It's the social media, really social media phenomenon that is kind of every day has something. Flashback Friday tomorrow. Then I don't know what Saturday is. I know Selfie Sunday. Man Crush Monday. What else?
Really, we are living in a unique time, David. And I love the Throwback Thursday, especially with all the music that comes with it. Seems like every single song you listen to is just instantly good. Speaking of instantly good, the Rattlers starting to find their groove. Jenna Paul on cue, 17-13 St. Mary's.
You know, I must admit, I kind of feared the worst in this third set as it was getting underway. I was kind of having flashbacks of set numero uno. And the Rattlers here have given me a flashback of set number 2 where they're looking to run away with it. And the Newman Jets hoping their cause just not getting that ball in the precise spot. Aim poor there. And the Rattlers now have extended their lead to 5, looking to blow it open as they approach the 20-point mark.
And you know how we talked about earlier the timeouts, able to discombobulate players effectively. Martinez seems phased not whatsoever. She's a real gamer out there right now, and she's doing great things with her serve. I mean, it seems tough to distinguish between a good server and a great server, but you can tell Martinez is being a great server right now because these passes, the setter is having to work so hard just to get it to the hitter, and it leads to things like that. Slaughter and Paul able to set up for the rejection there.
20-13 the score now. Rattlers are trying to roll. We talked about earlier in this broadcast, these two teams met on October the 5th over in Wichita, Kansas. The Jets winning 3-0.
Oh, and she just missed another ace right there.
3-0, so revenge on the mind, and the Rattlers here looking to maybe take the last 3 sets. They're well on their way to get 2 here if they can hold on. The Jets now with possession and the serve.
It'll be Paul.
Oh, whoa, well placed by Paul there.
She actually hit a slice right there. She came up and she hit the side of the ball. You saw the way she cupped her hand, and it applied a wicked spin onto the ball, and she's rewarded for it with a kill.
Yeah, Alexis Litz lit up on that one, not able to return that one for the Newman Jets, and that will put Michaela Bass. Okay, from afar now, Bass and Ortega look very similar.
Very true.
Do not adjust your monitors over at home.
As we are bringing you in stunning HD, the first year, the Rattler Network in high definition. Really just great things all around coming out of the brand new Rattler Network.
Absolutely. I mean, so many new things at St. Mary's. We've maybe talked about the park at nauseum, RattlerGear.com. You know, last spring we unveiled RattlerAthletics.com. This fall we unveiled Rattler Network as the Rattlers drop a point there, and the Jets trying to creep back into this one. And yeah, Rattler Network, we're very proud of it. I mean, the graphics look terrific, the picture quality in HD, stunning HD, and we're just very happy, very proud to bring it to you and happy to be a part of it. And of course, that from the evil geniuses, the brainchild of our sports information king, Chad Peters, Robin Johnson, the dearly departed Scott Fonger, who's on a beach somewhere. You know, it's 5 o'clock for him every day.
Yes, indeed.
Nowadays. So.
And then, of course, some valued input from our new athletic director, Miss Liz Dalton, of course.
Miss Liz Dalton, who's always in attendance. And, of course, assistant AD Brian Martinick, who has also come and lent us a helping hand. Very appreciative to have everybody on the staff, and of course then our colleagues here on the Rattler Network as well. Too long of a list to shout them out, but they're right now running around busy getting everything going. And another thing we forgot to mention as we're talking about all these new things, the new promotion initiative we're taking here inside Bill Gorey Arena, over at the park as well. Robin Johnson hitting those projects up. If you haven't had a chance, come out to one of these games. We're giving away so many cool things. We're playing so many cool games in between the game. It's just a lot of fun.
And I believe we're going to have one after this set. Brian Magluyon, our new intern, going to bring us that. We're going to keep it on here so you can go on ahead, get a bit of the in-stadium vibe going. So the Rattlers, they're surging forward here, 23-17, sitting pretty and looking to close out this set.
Rattlers keep it alive. Here's pass. Put over now by the Rattlers. Here come the Jets. Let's see how they respond. It's off the fingertips of, I believe, Hartung. And a timeout on the floor.
We'll go on.
We'll take a break with them. Rattler fans, stay with us. Rattlers lead it by 5 right here on the Rattler Network.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back, Rattler fans. 23-18, the Rattlers firmly ahead here in the third set. So they look to stop the bleeding there for a little bit and make sure they close this one out. A bit of a strategic timeout there from Coach Warmack Chipman. And Bash will go on ahead and send it over on the second hit. Martinez, great hustle there, covering baseline to baseline. Here's Hartung. That one off the tape and dug out. And that one out of play. The Rattlers now at set point.
You know, I've always been very impressed, especially on that play right there. Just very impressed with volleyball players' prowess, how they just know to not go for one, how they just can read it in the matter of under a millisecond. I mean, they got to be so quick on the draw. And Huber there letting that one go, earning the point for the Rattlers there with a good decision. And now the Rattlers here set point, looking to take a second straight set.
And really, it's incredible, the court awareness and anticipation of all these ladies. I mean, you think about it, it's incredibly difficult to keep a ball in the air when another person's trying to keep it down. And really, these ladies, some of the best in the Heartland Conference at being able to do it. 24-19 now. That one popped up by Huber. Here's Hartung. Nice dig there by the libero, Alderson. Hefnow able to put it away, and the Rattlers, after dropping the first set, have rallied back to win the next two. They now lead 2 sets to 1. And now, Rattler fans, a bit of an in-between set promotion. Here's Brian Magluyon.
The object of
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
And welcome back, Rattler fans, to beautiful Bill Greehey Arena. 2-1, the advantage in sets for your St. Mary's Rattlers. Starting out on the court, we have Shikatano, Slaughter, Huber, Jenna Paul, Holman, and Devin Hartung. And we're going to go on ahead, see Slaughter head on over to the bench. Martinez Libero will head in for her. And David, to me, I think one of the great stories so far of this match is the contribution that Devin Hartung has come in and made. Starting in that second set, she's played every single point for these St. Mary's Rattlers, and really the results are showing as she's been very solid for this Rattler squad, both defensively and playing the net.
Can't argue against winning, and as you mentioned, Hartung's been a part of both sets that the Rattlers have won, 2 and 3. And so look for more of her here as the Rattlers look to close out this team in 4. The Rattlers' record in 4 sets are 4 and 5, so they're looking to improve that and go 500 here. Now, the Rattlers' record, if this were to go to 5, they're an impressive 3 and 1. So this team can handle the pressure. They are clutch.
It'll be Shikatano to get us underway. Shikatano, a great server in her own right. And really, I think the story of that third set was the string of serves that Victoria Martinez was able to put together, even through a timeout. Like we said, Martinez, a real gamer out there. She's able to catch fire, so to speak, and provide offense for this Rattler team through her serving. Usually, she's the defensive stone for this Rattler team.
There she is. Nice dig. Holman, who has been terrific, has really put her stamp on this game. Gets a hand on this one. Ball still in play. Both teams trying to make a rally. Ooh, nice dig there by Martinez, extending.
That's an incredible play from Martinez. Not only was she able to get it there and pop the ball up in the air, but you notice it was a perfect pass to Shikatano. So she was able to set it on up, and then Hartung able to put it away when she saw the weakness in the defense.
Popped the volley. I'm sweat.
Woo!
Here comes the Rattlers. Nice block. The Jets get that over. Here's Martinez.
And I think they're going to call a double touch there on Martinez.
Gotta like that effort, though, from the St. Mary's Rattlers. 2-1 the score. Jets have it back. Quick substitution here for Newman.
Farringer's going to come on in, and Zillman will head on over the bench. Fairman on to serve now.
Holding the serve. It's read by Huber. Set by Shikatano. Holman over the top. Read well by the Newman defense. Oh, put over quickly by the Rattlers. And this one, just a little too strong. Good judging there by Martinez. Lets that one float over her head.
Now Martinez, she'll go on ahead and go back to serve, and she's been on her game serving so far in this match.
And the Rattlers
very much on point.
And the Rattlers will continue to need to have her on her game if they look to pull out the backdoor sweep.
And again, a free ball for St. Mary's. Great serve there. Speaking of on point, Jenna Paul exploding there. She's been a factor in this game as well. And just coming into the game, Lauren Slaughter, another huge factor today. She's been dominating the net when Holman hasn't been doing so because Holman hasn't been in the game the entire time. Oh, a bit of trickery there, and at the perfect time, the Jets able to square it up at 3 apiece. Substitutions, Roker coming into the game, and Provencio gonna head on out. Good pass there by Hartung. Here's Paul. And I think a bit of a miscommunication there, and the Rattlers, the beneficiaries, 4-3 now.
Michaela Bass comes in. She'll join Martinez, Hartung, Heft, Huber, and Slaughter. Here's Bass. Puts it over. Here come the Jets. Nice set. Now the Rattlers with a block off the hands of Heft, and that'll be a point for the Newman Jets. They even this one right back up at 4 apiece.
Alderson, the libero, now back to serve. She's had herself a great game. And again, a good serve there. Huber not able to handle it very well, so 5-4 for the Jets.
You know, revisiting the Heartland Conference standings we talked about earlier in this game, St. Mary's right in the thick of it, Joe, and a win, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a win here tonight can go a long way in securing a spot. They're currently 8-6. I believe there is 5 other Heartland Conference volleyball games going on tonight. So, of course, by tomorrow morning, we'll know where the Rattlers stand going into this weekend. Right now, they trail by 2. But besides the runaway team in the conference, Arkansas Fort Smith at 14-0, DBU at 10-4, St. Edwards at 9-5, and St. Mary's at 8-6. 2 games separate the 2nd and 4th seed. AK 2 games separate not playing Fort Smith in the opening round.
And speaking of Fort Smith, they're playing St. Edwards tonight. So if the trend holds true, and great play there by Slaughter. If the trend holds true and Arkansas Fort Smith is able to defeat St. Edwards and St. Mary's is able to pull out this match, which is far from over, then St. Mary's will be tied for that 3rd seed coming into play tomorrow morning.
And then another game we're going to really keep track of will be taking place later on this month on the 16th, as the Rattlers will wind up their season against Arkansas Fort Smith. Maybe they'll be undefeated at that point when that meeting takes place, and that's a good measuring stick for the St. Mary's Rattlers, as right now they're getting back into this one. They trailed by 3, and now they've cut the deficit to 1.
That one finding the floor. So 8-6 now for the Jets. We spoke briefly about the Hilltoppers, currently the 3rd seed. St. Mary's, they got the split with them this year. They lost at St. Edwards 3-0, and then at home they are able to defeat St. Edwards 3-1. So if the tiebreaker is based off of sets taken, then St. Edwards would have the tiebreaker there. So St. Mary's would need to go on ahead and have a full game on St. Edwards at the end of the season in order to have that 3 seed.
St. Mary's, it's simple. Just finish with a better record and try to get as high as you can. And as I mentioned earlier on, I mean, for a very young team, what some might call a rebuilding year, you know, a team that wasn't going to go, I mean, this team's too talented to go, 4-18. They're right now at 12-12, and a chance to not only knock on the door of the tournament, but to have a pretty good standing. And as we talked about, Joe, if they get hot, I mean, sky's the limit.
I mean, a ton of weapons on this team, and really, they only need 1 or 2 players to get extraordinarily hot in order to carry them. We've seen players like Heft and Huber carry this team throughout an entire match and just really have their fingerprints all over it.
And tonight we've seen Slaughter and Holman do that work, as The Jets grab another one, 8-10. Again, they're trying to extend their lead here in set number 4.
Passed up by Huber. Holman now off the hands of the DBU blocking defense and into the floor. 10-9 now, and Paul will come in along with Shikatano. So 9-10 the score. Back and forth we've gone so far on this set. A bit of a different tale than the first 3 sets, which saw the Jets burst ahead for the most part. Now here's Paul. She just barely got underneath that one and it went out of play. 11-9 now for the Jets.
Just a tad too much mustard on that one. Joe, would like to, with the park over there, what toppings do you like on your hot dog?
Oh, I'm a relish guy.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed, but
Oh,
not
man.
sweet relish, still.
No, I'm not a relish guy at all. Just, keep it American, simple. Mustard, ketchup, like mayonnaise.
You're an American guy, so I'm guessing no sauerkraut for you, or?
No.
Oh.
None of that. No veggies on my hot dog, please. 10-11 to score. Nice block, and Newman keeping it alive. Good job by the Jets.
I believe that one off a Newman player, so we're squared away, 11 apiece.
Yeah, grazing the shoulder. Rattler fans, a lot of happenings around Rattler Athletics. The men's soccer team ended their season earlier this week. They won 4 games this season, all 4 coming in conference play. Jack Wolf finishes off with 10 goals. And the Rattlers wrap up their season in style. Alex Gonzalez, the midfielder, named Heartland Conference Player of the Week. He had 3 goals this week, so some bright spots as they head into their offseason. Lady Rattlers Soccer, they conclude their season over in Austin. DBU defeats them in the opening round of the Heartland Conference Tournament 4-0. And that only ushers in the beginning of basketball, which begins tomorrow here from Bill Griehe Arena. 7 p.m. start time. You can catch that right here on Rattler Network as the Rattlers trail by 1 once again.
Yeah, quite a rally there for the Jets to win. They squared away 11 apiece, both teams looking for that advantage. The Jets able to come out on top. Here's Holman. A little bit of extension there. Now Martinez will be challenged. She's equal to the task. And that one finds the line. Huber once again, the finesse shot, and we're squared away once again, 12 apiece. Slaughter into the game. Holman will head over and take a drink of water. And Martinez on to serve. And this is much like the third set where we saw Martinez coming in and serving in the middle of the game, and she was able to propel the Rattlers. But this time the Jets are ready, and they'll have none of that. 13-12 for them.
Yeah, looking to stop that before it even gets started. Seemed to be the idea for the Newman Jets.
Good pass there by Hardung. Here's Paul.
Well, this one toward the scores table. Good job by the Jets, able to hustle this one down. Slaughter quickly thwarts it for the Rattlers, and Slaughter just a little bit out of position. Not able to get a good read on that possession. And just like that, the Neiman Jets take another 2-point lead.
Yeah, great effort there by Slaughter, but a little bit unlucky there as the block went off her strange, as we see Huber contorting her body there to get that one. Now Paul, sending it over on the second hit. And that one, Hardung putting a hand on it, not able to control it. 15-12 now for the Jets, and St. Mary's is going to take a timeout.
We'll take one with them, Rattler fans. 12-15 the score. Rattlers trail by 3. Stay with us, more upcoming. Rattler Network.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof. And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And welcome back, Rattler fans. 15-12, the deficit for St. Mary's, as we've seen the Jets go on a bit of a run here. And David, I know St. Mary's leads 2-1 right now, but you really do not want this to go to a fifth game. It would squarely put momentum into the Jets' corner. If you're St. Mary's, you got to have that killer instinct and go for it here in this fourth set.
Rattlers are 3-1 in games that go to the fifth set, but you're absolutely right, Joe. You don't want to give Newman momentum. We talked about it. Momentum, does it exist in baseball? A lot of people argue that it doesn't. In basketball, maybe. Football, maybe. Volleyball, it does. It really does. And you can see, the swings going right here toward Newman's way. You don't want to give him that extra opportunity. You're absolutely right, Joe. You got to nip it in the bud. You got to stomp out the fire. You got to find more cliches, and you got to finish this one out right now. If you're the St. Mary's Rattlers, they trail by 3 midway through set numero 4.
Well, is it 17-13 now? St. Mary's, they'll go on ahead and they'll search for those cliches.
Look for that. Dig down deep and they find that extra something.
They need to find that burst, get that one explosive play. Slaughter trying to provide it there with a good swing. Martina is able to hustle on over. Here's Huber playing short, but that one was sniffed out. Jones now playing short herself. And Heft, that one off her fingertips, and she's not able to find the handle. 13-18 now. And instead of St. Mary's surging their way out of their own timeout, it appears that the Jets are the one who have tried to take control out of that timeout. And Huber.
You were trying to keep the Rattlers alive, and I'll tell you what, Rattler fans, if the Rattlers can somehow manage to climb back and win this one, we're in for a doozy, as they have quite the task in front of them.
And now we're seeing Taylor Obermiller come into the game for the first time today. Hardung, she's been playing hard, but she'll head on over the bench. Obermiller, a bit more of a weapon than Hardung as she plays the net. And here's Heft now with a swing. Obermiller pops it up. Here's Slaughter now, and she's able to get it down. So 18-15 now the score. Huber still on the serve. That one passed nicely, but Slaughter, the great anticipation there. Look at those reflexes. Bass pops it up. Heft. And again. St. Mary's now on a bit of a 3-0 run. They're looking to rally their way back into this one. Huber back to serve. And that one
off the fingertips. Alex Roker mistiming that one. Timeout on the floor. The Rattlers are within 1. We're going to stay right here with you. Rattler fans, we remind you to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers, or on Twitter and on Instagram, same handle, @St. Mary's Rattlers, youtube.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. We'll have the archive of this and many other Rattler games, including interviews with the players, and of course the Hitley webisodic internet series show event, Talking Rattlers. I'm going to work on that. And of course, RattlerGear.com, all the latest threads, and of course, Rattler Network is housed on RattlerAthletics.com. David Tovar, Joe Rodriguez with you. It's a pleasure to join you. We're trying to do some math in between sets. Is this our first broadcast together this whole season? Maybe, maybe not. Regardless, it's my homecoming. It's our homecoming. It's Dave and Joe's homecoming. Catches on Talking Rattlers. Tovar's take slated to come out within the next 12 hours. Cup of Joe, you got that brewing?
I do believe so. Looking for maybe a release towards Tuesday next week. I wouldn't want to
coincide with men's basketball.
Yes, indeed.
Sounds terrific. A 1-point game here for the St. Mary's Rattlers and the Jets. Rattlers trying to tie this one up, and I said if they were able to come back, it's going to be a doozy. And Rattlers making it very entertaining here. Good job by
Obermiller there.
Obermiller, a fresh body here for the Rattlers, and nice rally there by the Jets. Just not enough there, and we're all even at 18.
And really, we've seen this run once again. It's like deja vu, except for it's not Martinez back there serving. Now it's Huber. 18 apiece now. And look at the height that the Rattlers currently have on the net. Obermiller, Slaughter, Heft, all of them causing problems for these hitters for the Jets. And of course, providing some offense of their own as well. That one dug out by Bass. You love it to see your setter do that. And again, met at the net. Here's Heft. Oh, just barely misses the line. And the run finally ends for St. Mary's. But once again, they're right back in this ball game. 19-18 for the Jets.
St. Mary's looking to close out in set number 4. They dropped the first set 18-25. They won the second one 25-15. And they won set number 3, 25-19. And the Rattlers here grab another point, and they even up this set at 19 apiece. Slaughter back to serve.
Slaughter and Bass have really just had great feel for each other today. They've been finding each other a lot. Holman heading into the game. Martinez will get a quick sip. We're going to get to see Slaughter play that back line and out of play. So St. Mary's actually gaining the advantage here and 5 points away from taking the match.
Who was going to break the 20-point threshold first? It's the Rattlers, so that bodes very well for St. Mary's. Now the Jets looking to respond, and they do. And now they are in the 20-point club.
Really love to see Jones do that if you're a Jets fan. Explosive right there, just slamming it down. An impressive freshman for this Jets team. 20 apiece. This game really up for grabs for either team. Here's Holman. Holman once again able to do her part. Shikatano will head in along with Paul, Heft, and Bass to the bench. 21-20 for St. Mary's. You see Coach Warmack Chipman very emphatic right now. She really wants this win for her squad. Substitution here, Braithwaite coming on in. Wheeler will head to the bench. Also heading in is Alderson, the libero.
Shekatano back to serve. Martinez, Huber, Obermiller, Paul, and Holman, the 6 on the floor for the Rattlers.
That one met at the net. Huber able to get to it. Here's Paul now. Playing that slice shot once again. And Jones once again providing the offense for the Jets. 21 apiece. Back and forth we go. Now the same Jones back to serve. That one off the tape, but on over. Here's Holman. Dug out nicely there by Litz. Holman with the block now.
Now Martinez. Here's Paul. And yes, gets that one to go for the Rattlers. That one all the way in the stands as the Jets, no chance of returning that one. 22-21. And this one, Joe, I think safe to say is going to go down to the wire.
Oh, yes, indeed. Both teams fighting for the points, every single point. Hardung back into the game, on to serve. Obermiller will head over to the bench. Paul on the solo block there, able to get a piece of it. Here's Huber.
Oh, extends. Great job there by Huber. Here come the Jets. Now Martinez. That's Shikatano. Holman trying to catch the Jets D. And Martinez, ooh, a dive.
Good effort there by Martinez, but just barely not able to get her hand underneath the ball. 22 apiece now. As you start to hear the Rattler fans getting into this one, a little bit of a chant going on.
Some exciting developments here inside Bill Greehey Arena. 22-all after the Rattlers turned this one into a laugher for the last 2 sets. Jets not going away. A lot of credit to them.
Once again, Holman providing the block. It's been an absolute block party for Slaughter and Holman. Here's Paul. Able to get it down, 23-22. Speaking of Slaughter, she's heading into the game now. She'll look to help the Rattlers close this out. Holman heading to the bench. A huge point here either way. It's either going to be a tied set after this one, or Rattlers will be at match point.
22-23, make it 24-22 as the St. Mary's Rattlers here. This is their game point. They can put it away here, the backdoor sweep, and the Rattler fans are on their feet.
And Slaughter and Huber just combining for that one. Martinez back to serve for the match. Oh, and she put it into the net.
A rare error you see there from Victoria Martinez, the junior libero. She's also a Heartland Conference Freshman of the Year award winner. And a timeout taken. Rattler fans, we'll keep it right here with you. 24-23 the score. Jets trail by 1. Rattlers with a golden opportunity to put it away. And Martinez hits nothing but net, and that's not what you want in this sport.
Oh, really just a killer point there. I mean, and I like the timeout here by Coach Warmack Chipman, kind of just going on ahead, calming her team right on down. And they're going to serve receive here, and they are finding out exactly who they want to set to for this point and exactly what they want to do. Remind you, Rattler fans, let's go on ahead. Let's look ahead. After this game, Rattlers will play host to Oklahoma Panhandle State. That'll be Saturday at noon. We will be broadcasting that game, RattlerAthletics.com, via the Rattler Network. And then they're going to hit the road at Dallas Baptist University on the 14th. And then, of course, to close out the season at the University of Arkansas Fort Smith on the 16th. All that, hopefully the Rattlers able to win out and make it to the Heartland Conference Tournament. Let's get back to play here. 24-23 for St. Mary's. Here's Huber. Let's pop back over to St. Mary's. Paul sending it on over on the second touch. That one's sent back, and it's fitting. Slaughter on the block. And the Rattlers able to seize the match on that point. 25-23, a thriller here in the fourth set. And David, the story of the match has to be the dominating play of the middles for St. Mary's. Holman and Slaughter just absolutely on fire for those last 3 sets.
Holman slaughtered the Neiman Jets. I mean, terrific play by both those players, doing a great job for the St. Mary's Rattlers. Consistency and urgency is what I stressed throughout the broadcast, and the Rattlers did exactly that. They won the last 3 straight sets, 25-15, 25-19, and then, of course, the clincher, 25-23. They made it dramatic here at the end, and now the Rattlers improved to 9-6 in conference play, 13-12 on the year. They'll be back right here at noon inside Bill Greehey Arena and on the Rattler Network when they take on Oklahoma Panhandle State. Well, Rattler fans, we remind you to keep it tuned to RattlerAthletics.com for all of the coverage of St. Mary's Athletics. We'll be right back here on Rattler Network tomorrow starting at 5 p.m. for women's basketball. The Rattler basketball takes the court at 7. And we'll do it all again on Saturday at noon and then again at 7 p.m. For everyone who's put on this production, Chad Peters, Robin Johnson, our colleagues Brian and Natalie, Joe Rodriguez, great to have you back, partner. Great to see you again. Great to be back in the booth with you, partner.
Oh, it really was. It was a great broadcast. I feel like worked out a couple of kinks, you know. It was tons
Absolutely.
of fun. And, of course, an even bigger game for volleyball this Saturday, the final home game of the year, the senior day. If you can make it out to the game, go on ahead, come on out. It'll be a Saturday affair. A lot of emotions will be shown, and really an important, pivotal game for St. Mary's as they square off against Oklahoma Panhandle State.
Winning tonight does a lot of favors to the Rattlers in the Heartland Conference standings. They'll look to carry that momentum on to Saturday. For Joe Rodriguez, I'm David Tovar. This has been a presentation of Rattler Athletics on the Rattler Network.